What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to this episode of the Moto Outsider. And in today's episode, we are covering all things Southwick, his very special track. We got a lot of things to go over in 250s. But as always, I am joined by my beautiful long-haired co-host, Mr. Chris Baird, wearing a different hat and a sick shirt. What's going on, man? How are you?
Oh, Matt, I'm doing great tonight, dude. How are you?
Doing good, man. I want to apologize to the beautiful people of the Moto Outsider for our delay. Just life gets in the way. We obviously have multiple jobs going on, but that does not deter from the fact that we are immersed in all things motocross. And dude, I know you watched Southwick, man. The race was sick. It's a very special track too. It's kind of like Unadilla where the local boys come out. But dude, before we get started, bless the people with the question of the video, because I like this one.
Our question of the video is we want to know where and when you learned how to ride. We want to know the story, what happened, how it happened. Give us the deets, write a paragraph, write a 10-page novel. Let us know.
Yep.
Let us know.
Let us know in the comments.
You let us know, Matt. How did you learn how to ride?
All right. So I learned how to ride on the streets because I'm a city boy. I learned how to ride on the streets in lovely New York, and it sounds way cooler than it actually is. But that's actually how I learned how to ride. Is I learned how to use a clutch and everything on my whooped, clapped out 125 in the street. And we had woods that were like a couple blocks over, so I would ride from the street to the woods and learn how to, take corners and do hole shots and do all that stuff in there when I got more serious about it. Yeah. But the long story short, man, right from the streets. What about yourself?
Yeah, dude, man, you learned and you became good at it. You just got to practice.
Exactly.
We talked about our first bikes before. I had like a Tomos 50. My dad taught me when I was 3 going on 4.
Sick.
No training wheels, just kind of sent it. I might have had training wheels in the beginning, but he took them off pretty early and I just went for it. He'd run and chase behind me, and eventually I would think he was there, but he wasn't there. And I looked back and like, oh, I'm doing this myself. All right. And you just kind of go.
Just keep going.
One thing I learned pretty young.
Fuck yeah, man. I'm jealous because I wish I started at your age because I would have been at your skill level. I mean, you're obviously the better rider than me, but dude, I always wish I started that much younger with anything. But dude, one thing I wish we recorded or had pictures of or something was when you had your Wyatt YZ450. Yeah. And it was, I think I had my CRF 250F before it was bored over to a 290. We remember when we were riding in your neighborhood when it was like winter out, kind of just starting to get a little bit warmer, and we were just doing wheelies up and down the street.
I still got pictures on my Facebook. I was looking at them the other day. So cool.
Okay, dude, send me those off camera because I miss those days.
100%.
But that was a great time just because, it was starting to get warmer. You were getting that itch. If you want to get out there, you can't ride because it's snow on the grass, but it's kind of like 50-something degrees. It's fun times.
Yeah, man. Should have been out there, but we didn't care, doing our little like 8 o'clock wheelies. We felt so cool. But it was fun.
Power wheelies, compress those forks and just pull up. Yeah. All right, man. So dude, let's get right into it. Let's jump right into the 250s. Way more exciting than the 450s. Anybody watching the race knows that. But a lot of interesting things and fun things to mention. I mean, Hunter's bike gives way. That makes Haiden Deegan number 1 in the points. Dude, What's happening?
Are you kidding me?
What is happening?
Are you serious? Yeah, no, this was a pretty big shakeup. Hunter was riding well. I think he was coming through the pack. He ended up being almost top 5, right? I think he was working his way towards the top 5 guys. And yeah, they cut to the cameras and his bike's laying on the side of the track. He's just kind of sitting there with his head in his hands. And that was it. I thought it was interesting too, because last year, Jett had the same issue on the outdoors at Redbud. His bike blew up one of the motos. I don't recall seeing too many of the other bikes have these issues the past couple of years. None of the star bikes or Cowies, to my knowledge. I could be wrong. Yep. These guys in the comments, if I am wrong, let us know because we don't remember all this stuff. But you don't really see this happen too much, and we've seen it twice from Honda now. So kind of weird. And open up a championship for everybody. Open it up for RJ. Open it up for Cooper. And Haiden. So I'm really excited. This is 250 championship's going to come onto the wire.
100%, and that's why the 250s are way more fun to watch. And it's not like it's out of the window for Hunter because he'll be right back at it. The injury stuff kind of looming. We'll see. Don't know if that's going to be much of a factor. The kid's nasty, so I think he's going to be right up there still. But I mean, dude, gave way to Tom Viel grabbing his first win. Joe Shimoda got his first win too. I know that's your boy. So 250s were fun to watch, man.
Absolutely, yeah. And before we jump into that, I kind of just wanted to ask you, I mean, we look at Haiden Deegan's moto scores. I think he said he went 410. Is that what it was?
Yeah. So Haiden Deegan went 410 for 6th overall.
So 410 for 6th overall. It seems like he got bad starts both motos, and I don't know if he was struggling with injury, the heat, or anything like that. But what do you think? Like Hayden's in the points lead now. He's going to go to Millville with the red plate. Do you think he can hold on to this thing? Truthfully, I
Yeah,
mean, we have sand track, we have Washugo, we have some pretty tough tracks coming up.
I'm going to say no.
Okay, all right.
But I don't want to say no because I love what the kid's doing. But I just think looking at the big picture here, the top 4 in points, top 5 in points, pretty close.
They're close.
And there's a lot of experience beneath Haiden. Hayden's fast. Hayden's got the skills, got the speed, everything. But it's that experience factor, man, that just can kind of creep in. I'm thinking of the what ifs here, where what if he gets a little over his head, gets a little huckabuck, loses the bike, tosses it, suffers some kind of injury. I think he's going to revel in the moment, and I think it's going to get a lot of people worked up on social media. But I think I don't think he's going to hang on to it. I think Hunter is going to just come right back for it, and I think Hunter's the all around better rider. To be honest, what about you?
Yeah, no, I think I agree. Unfortunately, like you said, I think Haiden has been the most consistent next to Hunter, but Hunter, just like you said, he has experience, and there's a lot of other guys with experience. Justin Cooper's been riding really well, very consistent, smooth. Second fastest again this weekend, but behind Jimmy Dakotas, who qualified first in 250s. But yeah, I just Hayden's young, and I think we all just need to be, no matter what, proud of him and impressed with how he finishes the season off.
Without
if he wins this title, it'll be epic as hell. Hope he can do it.
Would be sick.
The experience thing makes me worry a little bit. And this weekend was not good for him, as he's been great all year. But
right, I mean, dude, this as much as anybody who's ridden in the sand, and you've been overseas to see their sand tracks, man. That MXGP rides on, dude. Sand is the great equalizer, in my opinion. I know a lot of people say mud is, but when you can go 30+2 in sand, it is hell on the body. It's hell on the bike. And I think sand beats up the littler guys more just because that muscle dexterity and everything just isn't, I don't want to say it's not there, but I think it just takes a toll on the smaller riders a little bit more. You're getting bounced around a lot, getting thrown around a lot. It's kind of why bigger guys do better in the mud. I think it's why bigger guys do better in the sand.
Yeah.
But I think Southwick was the great equalizer in terms of track. I mean, dude, not to mention it's a special place. So you always know something cool is going to happen. Like Jimmy Dakota's qualifying first, like, the hometown boys. And like, I mean, we're going to get to the 450s, but like Chris Canning doing his thing. It's just exciting to see the local boys come out and just mix it up and run up front. It just goes to show you what track experience can do for you.
Yeah, no, there was a bunch of guys, James Harrington, Tate. There was a bunch of dudes out here that were locals running really well. It's cool to see. It really is, in the sand, like you said, it's a great equalizer. It was really, really just the heat, I think, was the biggest thing. I think it would have been a little bit more interesting if we didn't have so much like exhaustion from exhaustion. Is that the word from that? I guess. Because you saw the guys got off the podium. Even Jett looked like he was absolutely exhausted after the first few, both motos. I think if the heat wasn't so bad, we maybe had some better battles. But yeah, I love sand. I like that Millville is a little bit sandier, so I think that'll be a pretty good race. See what happens there. Yep. But it was a good race. It was a great 250 class. We talked about As Tom Vial getting his first win. Very 100%. Consistent. He came out and was very dominant the first moto. After Justin Cooper went down with, I think there was 2 minutes to go, which kind of sucked. But he was the best guy on the day. And Joe Shimoda in the second moto, I think he might have had a little bit more energy than everybody else. Got a good start, took off with it. I'm just loving the parity. Again, I talked about it early in the season. That's what I'm here for. Parity's great. 450 class has been unfortunately super boring, but just being Jett's doing his thing. He's rocking his way around the track, and he's 12-0 right now.
Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. I'm switching up from our last video, dude. He's going undefeated. He's doing it.
Yes, hear that. He's doing that.
And here's why. And of course I can be wrong, but here's why I think he's going to do it. Like we just talked about, Southwick is one of the roughest tracks, one of the toughest tracks. It was hot. The track was whooped. Dude, he was riding. He just went 1-1 again, but the dude checked out. Chase couldn't hang, gapped Chase. I just think it was no competition. After hearing Ricky and James endlessly talk about it in the booth, I think it reinforced my decision to say that he probably will go undefeated. Dude, what are your thoughts? Because I think it's undeniable at this point.
yeah, it's hard to sit here and say otherwise. I mean, we can sit here and wait for Chase as long as we want to, but we only have 4 more races left or 5 more races. There's not
Right.
much left essentially. So
No.
what can we do? We want to see him get beat just for the sake of us not watching the same guy win every weekend, but
Right.
watch him ride. Go back and watch those motos if you guys haven't. Like just watching him jump over the braking bumps and those little hips and the little things he does is just it's
Right.
impressive. He's the best guy. Zero doubt about it. I never
Yep.
seen
And
anyone
here's
ride like he rides. It's so unique and he's so light on the bike.
exactly. And if you listen to the commentary with what James and RC were just kind of going back and forth with,
Yep.
James even said himself, one of the GOATs said himself, he never rode at 100% speed.
Yep. Never did. And
Jett is in that lane. Dude, you've said this since Jett moved, since Jett crushed it on 250s and he's on the 450 now. You've been saying this for a while. I didn't agree with you at first, but now I 100% agree. That boy is not riding 100%.
No, he's just riding that comfort zone. And you saw Chase got it down to I think within a second at one point or a second and a half.
Yep.
He gapped to 10 seconds. That was it. He was just like, sorry,
dude,
man.
Overdrive. He said, oh, hell no. And then just gapped it out.
That's the ultimate FU to your teammate who just won the 450 Supercross championship. Like, come on.
100%. And Jett is just solidifying that. So now we have to switch how we watch the 450s. At least this is how I'm going to switch how I'm going to watch it. Yeah. Let's talk about football, for example. It was annoying as hell when Tom Brady was winning every single Super Bowl, every single playoff game, blah, 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 right? Yep. The GOAT. Tom Brady's the GOAT, period.
Yep.
We have to now appreciate Jett like we appreciated Tom Brady. You are witnessing greatness. And now, mind you, Jett has a long way to go. He's got a lot to prove, a lot of championships to win. So I'm not hopping on any bandwagon, none of that garbage. I'm just looking at this objectively. Yeah. Now we have to start watching Jett where it's like, dude, this kid is so young and he's riding like no one we've seen in a very long time. So I just think that's how we got to switch it up to make the 450s fun. That's my opinion, though.
No, I agree with you. And I think it's, when you look at Eli Tomac this year, for example, he's gone so many years, probably almost 10 years, very, very injury free, minus, his 2015 season, some little stuff. In the moment, he has a couple weird races and you're like, dude, what the hell? But at the end of the day, Eli's an animal. And then he gets hurt this year and he could be gone forever. We might never see him race again. Like we think he's going to line back up, but it's like what you're saying with Jett. Jett's out here right now. He's absolutely killing it. And we just need to appreciate it. We need to watch it, enjoy it, take notes, study all of it, because I don't know if anyone will ever be that good ever again.
Exactly. Or at least someone will come along, just like somebody will come along and dethrone Brady.
When?
Right. But when? So that's why you just got to enjoy it while it's here and while it's happening.
That's a good point, though. It's a really good argument. I like that.
What was way more fun to watch, dude, Ty Masterpool. Dude, give this kid a ride.
I know. He did not.
There's a ride.
He did not want to let these guys go. He was super just aggressive. He
slamming the door on Ferrandis. It was great.
Yeah. It was wild. It was good to watch.
It was.
Where did he finish? Did he have bike problems this weekend? No, he went 5:10. I thought someone said bike problems. I guess just last week at Red Buddy did, but he rode well. I'm thinking he got tired maybe. I mean, I wouldn't mind factory suspension in Southwick, honestly. Those bumps, 100%. I would like some factory suspension. So I think he might have been struggling a little bit. And the guys in the booth got a little bit of criticism because they were talking about how the factory bikes don't have as much of an advantage as they used to, I don't know. Right, bro. You can't sit here and tell me that, especially when the guy's buying his own bikes and all that,
Right. I mean, just suspension alone, you and I know how far that goes. That's pretty much the only sort of factory stuff you and I can afford when we were racing. Dude, suspension sets you leagues apart. You know what that A-kit suspension's like, and then you got the factory stuff on top of that.
And then the mapping, and then the special tires and all the other stuff they're doing. I mean, you can't sit here and tell me that. It was just weird that Ricky and James were, maybe not as much James, but they were kind of pushing that narrative that the bike doesn't matter as much just because Ty's been doing so well. Not really the case, especially at a place like Southwick. It was really weird.
That's a slap in the face to Ty Masterpool. All right, so put him on Jett's bike. Put him on Ferrandis'
see how
bike.
He does,
whatever. I mean, so yeah, he's riding a KX. Put him on Cincerulo's bike. Do better than Cincerulo.
There's a lot of people saying that. We need to see Supercross. Dude, if he can prove it in Supercross, I'll be 100% there.
Why? Because I remember that part in the broadcast where they were saying that, and it's like,
maybe I interpreted it wrong, but I thought it was
no. I think you're on the right track. Regardless, to what end do you make that point? Are you trying to discredit that this guy bought a bike off the showroom floor, put minimal parts on it, and is running in the top 10? like, and is, increasingly moving up in the points, or, getting better finishes.
It's a skill. He's very talented. Like, just give the kid credit. Quit saying this factory bike's not as big of a deal. Like, the kid would probably be podium if he was on a factory bike, truthfully.
Hey, or even better, what about Chris Canning? Dude finished the 7th, 8-7 overall.
They were eating that up in the broadcast. Guy lives at the track in a motorhome, trains kids during the week, which is a cool story, but he's got laps on that track. That's for sure.
The privateer stuff fires me up so much. And I don't want to get long-winded on this. I know you and I love the privateer guys, but dude, it's just, I don't know. I love seeing like guy. I know we're not going to see a similar result like that. I mean, maybe we will from like Chris Canning again, but I love seeing guys like Chris Canning, Time Master Pool, seeing those guys up front, getting better starts, mixing it up with these guys. You're going to tell me Ferrandis wasn't pissed he was behind this guy for so long?
It's 2 weeks in a row. He's had trouble passing him. He's same trouble at Redbud and now here. Like,
right.
And he's using a lot of energy too, because he got to try to ride different lines, and Southwick is very one line. So he had to have been frustrated after that moto.
Exactly. So, I mean, 450s was great for that reason, but overall racing, dude, 250s way better.
Yeah, way better. It was really weird too. I mean, again, I know Anderson's just coming back from injury, and Cincerillo's got a nerve issue, but they show both those guys just rolling around. Anderson got past and just started rolling around. Cincerillo just rolling around. Yep. It's very weird to see your top 10 guys doing that, but it shows how weak the field is this year, unfortunately.
Anderson went 6:14 for 10th overall.
He was gassed. Again, I know he came back early, but damn.
So this is just me bench racing. I will never be able to compete at this level ever in my life. I'm aware.
Yeah.
But I do think it's unacceptable to get 14th on a factory bike.
I mean, what would Ty have done?
Put him on the bike. That's all I'm saying.
Put him on
Call
the
him
bike.
up.
Put him on the
Call
bike.
him up. If anyone wants to, put their money behind it and just go all in on some dude, give Chris Canning, give Ty Masterpool, dude, give him 3 rides or two rides.
If one of those guys gets hurt again, I 100% think they should at least let him try it. Again, it's again the setup, it's the sag, it's the mapping of the bike, it's the start map. There's so much that they do.
Yep.
Let the kid ride it. Let us see what he does.
There is, and like we're not fanboying. It's just that you and I both know there is so much hidden talent in the privateer sphere.
Yep.
That will never get a true chance to shine. Equipment focused, you know what I mean?
100%.
So that's why I just want to, Time Master Pool, come on the show. We're gonna send you this video. Come talk to us and hang out. Let us know what's going on, man. What you think about what RC and Stuart were saying about you, man.
Absolutely. I forgot there's something else I was gonna say too. I thought it was interesting. There was one thing I'll remember it later when I'm laying in bed at 3 a.m. this morning, but I thought it was really interesting. We filmed an episode coming out this week about how Cooper Webb split up with Red Bull KTM. And we saw Cooper Webb comment on Justin Cooper's post after this weekend, which I thought was kind of interesting on Instagram. Just kind of random, just a little
teammates.
Like, hey teammate, nice job this weekend. Teammates. He didn't say teammate, but I thought that was kind of fascinating. You see something
stirring
like
the pot.
I know he was.
Just call him Spoons. That's Cooper Spoons.
Coop loves stirring the pot. That's what he does. That's what he does best. So, that's what I want to talk about. We probably won't do it this video, but Washougal is going to be a really big 2-stroke race. Have you heard anything about this?
I have not. Enlighten me.
So there's,
but I know that they come out. So
So Carson Brown, I'm sure Stank is racing. Burkeen, Lesher, these guys are all racing 2 strokes, obviously. Southwick, Jett Lawrence put up money towards a purse. There's this little secret private purse they're doing, just having guys show up at Washougal racing 2 strokes. And the best 2-stroke guy gets a big chunk of cash, I guess. So I'm trying to follow it because I know a lot of guys are getting bikes. There's a Marvin Muscan might actually come race, is what the word is right now. There was a thing on Instagram today. There was an ad from O'Neill. He was riding a 2-stroke. Don't know if it's happening. Don't know if it was just like a little hype thing, but
make motocross fun again. Get the 250s out there, baby.
The 450 class of Washougal might be stacked with 2 strokes. So,
dude, let's fly. Let's fly out to Washington. I want to smell some pine trees. Let's go.
Eat some sap off the tree. Let's do it.
Exactly. Lick a pine tree. I don't care. But smell some 2-stroke while I'm at it.
I'm gonna keep an eye on that, and I think if it keeps getting big, we'll do an episode on it for the race. But all these guys putting money up is pretty cool. So
like the Trump hats, like "Make America Great Again." Make 2 strokes great again. Make 2 strokes nationals again. I don't know. We're gonna come out with hats like that.
Oh man, I'll wear one all day.
Me
Your
too,
boy
bro.
Kevin Rand was out there this weekend, very quiet, 29-22.
Yeah, more of a supercross guy, I think.
No excuses, Kevin. Come on, what
No
are we doing?
excuse. No excuse. Kevin, come on
Race
the show.
super motocross, you know. And Shane McElrath also bought a bike today, which they're saying he might be racing outdoors for the last few. So just some little
Hey,
things I saw and heard about this week. I wanted to fill everybody in on. So we'll see what happens.
we will. But guys, that's Southwick.
The Wick 338.
The Wick. Guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us, letting us talk that shit. Let us know how you feel in the comments about one, where you learned how to ride your bike, but two, let us know all things. You know what? Question number 2. What rider is going to send it on a 252 stroke and do the best?
Oh, there we go. Let's see.
Let it hang out.
Going to be epic. It's going to be like straight rhythm 2.0.
Yep. I mean, I think Carson Brown's got it. That kid is nuts.
I know.
Kid is nuts.
But if Marvin shows up,
yep.
Marvin could top 10 on a 2-stroke, I think.
Think so?
Yeah.
I'm excited for Saturday.
If Marvin Musquin shows up, you want to put a bet on it? I bet you he top 10s.
Moto Fantasy, let's do it.
I'll throw 20 on it. Let's do it.
All right. We got 5 on it.
All right,
Chris,
man.
thanks for joining me, brother. As always,
welcome,
man.
Matthew.
It's always a pleasure, dude.
Of course.
To everybody in the YouTube world and the Moto Outsider community, thank you so much. Please share with your friends. Let's grow this thing. We're coming at you hot with videos. We promise it's happening
every 3 weeks right now, but it'll be more relevant.
We're getting back at it. But guys, thank you so much. We will certainly see you in the next video. And please share with your friends. Talk to you guys soon.